Alright, so I think that's about it for EX Demon Flip. Not a lot of people use it, honestly. It's not invincible on Wake Up, just so you know, and it doesn't have any projectile invincibility. It's just sort of a surprise gimmick that you only want to use once in a while. So for example, let's say you start the match, you just go, Hoo! You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to use it in a combo too because it's not optimal. But I would just use it, if you ask me, I would just use it mainly for the grab because it does more damage and the range of the grab is increased. And you can still hit crouching, you can still get crouching opponents too. But I don't believe you'll get it from this range. Well, actually, yeah, you do. Yeah, it's very useful to use because the grab range of the Izuna Drop is increased. So yeah, that's about it for the Demon Flips. I'll show you some pretty insane setups you could do with it after when I go over combos. Oh, another thing I forgot to cover is for Demon Flip. This is one of the pressure tools you can do. You just do C or D into Demon Flip continuously because the block stun and hit stun is pretty significant. It's also what makes Yuri very scary because you could just cross up with it. Like you can pressure your opponent and possibly cross up to it. And because the dive kick has so much hit stun, it's easy to hit confirm. God damn it, I keep getting that shit. But yeah, it's easy to hit confirm from it. And another thing you want to know is that in case you're a little bit too far when you hit your dive kick, use her crouching C instead of her standing C. If you use her standing C after her dive kicks, you might accidentally get her far C. It happens sometimes, but yeah, just to let you know if you want to be on the safer side. But just to let you know that her Demon Flip pressure is not absolute. There are gaps that you can exploit. Like this, if you have an instant command grab. And I'm trying to mash through it, so you can trade or you might get stuffed, just so you know. Depends on the situation though. There are sometimes you can beat it, depending on how well you press your buttons. You can sometimes beat it out cleanly, or you'll get stuffed by it. And also, let's see. You can also roll out of it. So just to let you know, like if you feel like you can't do anything from the Yuri dive kick pressure, you can escape from it because it doesn't combo. It's just a scary block string and pressure tool. But you can exploit the gap that when she goes into the air, you can go under. You can do standing C if it's fast enough. You could maybe do the DP in the other direction. I don't know. It's escapable. It's not absolute. And in some cases, stop that shit. You could air grab it. You get air grabber out of it if your character has an air grab. You gotta be pretty good with your air grabs though. And quick with it too. But yeah, that's just to prove to you that Yuri's dive kick pressure is not absolute. It's not unbeatable or anything. And you can, you have various options to escape from it. Alright, so next up we got her super. So she's got two supers. Whoops. Alright, that's a perfect meaty setup. She's got the Ranbu Super. Well, actually, I botched that, sorry. Yeah, her level 1 super, the Ranbu Super, which is, close circle forward and half circle back kicks. The level 1 super is not invincible, and I believe it's the same for both versions of it, the B version and D version. Most supers don't really have a difference between the B and D version. That's mostly Takuma and Mr. Karate. But yeah, it does a fair amount of damage. It comes out pretty fast, and you can combo it from her shorts if I can get it. I'm just gonna do it from that. You can combo two like crouching B and then standing B, you know, all three into the super if you want. But just know that it's not invincible, so you're not gonna get through anything. It starts up kind of fast though. The EX version, on the other hand, is invincible, does more damage, leads to a hard knockdown as well. And the last hit is unscaled too. 100. The last hit is 100 unscaled. Alright. Neither of these supers are optimal combo tools. So even if I spend 2 bars in one drive, the most I'll get is 368. And if you spend 2 bars and if you don't get over 400 damage, then it's not worth it. You can do it if you're desperate for damage, but usually I wouldn't recommend it. Just use it if you have no other option, I guess. Like if you just, you know, if you have like a crappy hit confirm like this, and then like you want to get some sort of damage off of it, then I guess. But there are way better usage for her bar, and I'll show you when I go over her combos. Alright, her other super is the Fireball Super, which is, you know, forward and then half circle forward. Oops. I'm sorry guys, I'm fucking up big time here. God damn. There we go. Yeah. So it does a decent amount of damage. The A version travels slower. If I could get it again. There we go. The A version travels slower, and the C version travels very fast. So you can sort of catch them if they're, you know, throwing out fireballs, and you want to use the C version and stuff, or if they're jumping like all the way from screen and stuff, and you want to catch them jumping randomly, then it's a good option to use. But in a combo, there's no, it's not optimal. You can do, you can super cancel into it. But yeah, it's not optimal. You know, this super, the Ranbu Super, does more damage in a combo, and even that is not optimal. So you only want to use the EX version of this super. You know, oh yeah, another thing about her, the invincible properties of that. So it's got pretty good invincible properties. You can use it, unlike, you know, to go through things to some extent. But just know that its invincible things are not that good. You can't do it all. You can't do it, you know, from full screen to punish a fireball or anything. You can do it from mid screen to punish a fireball, and you can do it as a sort of a wake up option. But you don't want to, you know, full screen sort of punish with it. Just, you know, just so you know, you gotta know the properties of your characters. That's the important thing I want to teach you. Unfortunately, her Fireball Super, you can't EX it. Only Takumu and Kenzo can do that. And the last thing is her Neomax. Oops, wrong motion. She jumps into the air, and you can get a follow-up from it too. Yeah, you can follow up with her Ranbu Super. Even the level 1 version works. You can even run up B, Demon Flip into it. Like, I saw Romance did that and it was pretty sick. But yeah, you could follow up from a Neomax, and you could do it in the air. Whoops, that's not it. There we go. And I think it sort of tracks. Nope, it doesn't track. The distance is limited. So yeah, and you can get it off of her overhead.